Welcome to this short intro to Couchbase data access and modeling using a real-world Conduit implementation to show data models in action. Couchbase is a multi-model database, which means there is a variety of approaches for interacting with your JSON data. You get the flexibility of being able to use key value, SQL++, full-text search, and more, all on the same pool of data. But which model should you use and why? And that's the focus of this video. The Conduit RealWorld project is a specification that, when implemented, is designed to show how to use languages, frameworks, and databases in action beyond the typical overly simplistic hello world or to-do list examples. When you check out or build a Conduit implementation, you're working with a medium.com clone. In this video, we'll focus on the backend of Conduit, show some endpoints, and look at the data access and data model used for each endpoint. This guide uses Conduit as an example, but of course these examples can and should be applied to help you build your backend as well. I'm using the ASP.NET and Couchbase Conduit repository today, but there are multiple implementations of Conduit in the language framework of your choice, available at the link on the screen. In Conduit, the main entities are article and user. Articles are essentially blog posts. They can be favorited and commented on. Users are the ones who log in and create articles, as well as leave comments. User profiles can be followed by other users, making Conduit a social blogging experience. Today we're looking at two endpoints. First, getArticle, which is used by the front end to display the contents and author of an article. Second endpoint, list and/or feed of articles. This endpoint returns a paged list of the most recent articles and perhaps filtered with some criteria. First, let's look at getArticle. Now with Couchbase, this operation can be done efficiently with a Couchbase get operation. The endpoint will have the article key that it can retrieve from the article slug. Now this endpoint also returns the author profile embedded in the JSON. That profile information can also be retrieved by another get operation, since the author's username is embedded in the article, and that's the ID used for user documents. Get operations are all you need to implement this kind of endpoint. The next endpoint retrieves, by default, the latest 20 articles that have been created. Since the article keys are not known ahead of time and not supplied to the endpoint, a key value operation could potentially be very complex at best, impossible at worst. So a SQL++ query is likely the way to go. This SQL++ query returns the articles, their authors, and associated information in the format that the Conduit spec requires. This same query can be slightly modified to also return articles in a user's feed, that is, articles written by authors that the current user follows. If you're coming from the relational database world, this might seem a bit overwhelming. In a relational database, there's only one way to interact with data: SQL. With a multi-model database like Couchbase, there are multiple ways to interact with the data. With Couchbase, you could use SQL++ for everything if you really wanted, but as shown here, a SQL query involves overhead: query plan, parsing, indexing, retrieving data from multiple nodes, and so on. A key value operation literally goes directly from the client to the node in Couchbase where the primary copy of the data resides. Now, this is all automatic. There's no need to worry about load balancing or primary-secondary configurations like other distributed databases. Key value will always be the fastest way to retrieve data, but sometimes, as we saw with the list articles endpoint, it's not always possible, and you need a more flexible way to retrieve data. A few more comments about the list articles endpoint. As described by Conduit, this endpoint will be used for the home page of a Conduit website. However, always showing the latest 20 articles to every user can become a strain on the query service. And in fact, how many web pages actually show the raw latest articles like this? And more typically, there will be highlighted articles curated by humans being displayed, or at least the latest 20 articles will be cached for some period of time, maybe a few minutes, maybe more, so that not every request from every user has to execute this query. Fortunately, another tool in multi-model Couchbase is a memory-first architecture perfect for caching. In your application, you can cache the results of the query into a Couchbase document that has an automatic expiration date called TTL, time to live. In this short video, you've seen key value access, SQL++ query, and caching all used to create an efficient real-world implementation of a couple of endpoints in the Conduit social blogging spec. Historically, these operations would all potentially require separate services: a key value service like Dynamo or Cosmos DB for quick lookups, a caching service like Redis to store query results, and a relational database with SQL like Oracle or Postgres to retrieve articles. Not only would you potentially need those three services, but you need to create and maintain some way to make sure data is consistent and updated between the three. With Couchbase, you get all these services in one, and furthermore, you'll be able to bring in full-text search, mobile sync, analytics, time series, etc. Again, all in the same dataset automatically. Visit the Couchbase developer portal and the Conduit project to learn more. If you have more questions about which access methods to use when and how to model the data in your backend project, join the Couchbase forums or the Couchbase Discord. Thank you for watching.